fantastic.
Up already.
Audio working.
My audio is working.
Oh, should we not be talking?
Sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. It's great to see you. Hello. Hello. Welcome to yet another Weisstronauts sporadic live stream hangout / catch up. I'm Pete Weiss. I put the Weiss in the Weisstronauts sporadically. And tonight we're going to talk about what the hell we've been up to for the past few months. Are you all cool with that? I'd like to just say hello to the Weisstronauts first. We got Kenny, we got Kevin, we got Jeff, we got Nate. Why don't you guys say hi?
Hi.
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 It's exciting, isn't it?
We did it. We all did it. We all said hi.
Signing off.
Incredible.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Now just breathe, baby. Okay, so we'll try to keep things moving here, but so when COVID started, we had just written an album's worth of new material, and we were very excited because it was mostly collaboratively written, and we had very rough demos done of all the songs for this new album project. We had grand hopes of playing for a year and gigging with these new songs, playing them live, in other words, and getting them really, really straightened out by the powerhouse live band that we are, and then recording them a year later live in the studio because they would have been so tight.
Good.
Yeah. COVID happened, and basically right before our first rehearsal, remember that? March 20th, I think, was going to be our first rehearsal for the new album, and all hell broke loose. So now here we are, 9 or 10 months later, and when was it? Back in December, I guess, we finally realized, well, let's just start recording the damn album.
Yeah, I think we started right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think I was still kind of full from Thanksgiving when I recorded my first guitar part.
The turkey really was the impetus of the whole album.
Yeah, it's kind of the
Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Holiday turkey.
Tryptophan.
Good, right?
The theme of this album is tryptophan.
Yeah, so we're doing a sort of a COVID style recording where we trade audio files all around. We're recording in our respective homes. I'm going to just run through other albums that we've done. We have the what we call the Jaunty trilogy. Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that glare.
Yeah, look at that, huh? These are from the early 2000s. And
Jeff Mellon production, artwork, and
John Soares photography. And I believe Jeff Mellon is actually in the monkey outfit.
oh, Jeff said, so John's pictures, that's the monkey.
Yeah, John took the pictures. Jeff is the monkey, and actually Jeff did the design too, and it's great. This one is based around a mini golf scorecard. But we did all those albums mostly at Zippa and some at Verdant Studio, and we recorded them kind of in a traditional rock band way, mostly live in the studio with some bells and whistles added later, some fixes added later, a little bit of editing. They're mostly done to tape.
Fixes.
Sorry, simulated fixes. That's what I'm talking about.
Bells and whistles.
Right. So then around 2006, excuse me, Kenny, I have the floor.
Go ahead, Pete.
Okay. Around 2006, we did our magnum opus Instrotainment, and that was with George Hall was a big player on that. Well, what was different about this?
Early verdant creation.
Yeah, up in a lot of time in Vermont.
Doug, you
Double drumming.
Yep, Doug Ewell, double drumming, a lot of experimentation, I think, but also still had a live in the studio feel.
Right.
It was an early.
maybe a little more rehearsal before recording than we usually did, but not much.
You're right. And there were demos. We actually kind of worked out demos. So it's a strong album, and I mean, they're all strong, of course. Smelling. Then the next year came, we started our Memphis series, and these were all we did 3 EPs that were all recorded 99% live in the studio in Memphis at Ardent Studios with Jeff Powell laying us down to tape. I'm going to keep going quickly because I know we got a lot to cover. The next album is called 19-something-9, and it's probably our weirdest album. It's borderline a Pete Weiss solo album, actually. There's a lot of.
Don't buy that one, it's garbage.
It's really weird.
I mean, it's great. It's wonderful.
By garbage, you mean great.
Yeah.
Actually, Mitch Easter worked on a lot of this, and he played some Chamberlain on it as well. He did a lot of the mixing on this. It's a weird album because it's a mixture of some live in the studio stuff, some traditionally recorded stuff, but also some really just constructed pastiche stuff and some electronica added in, some click track stuff, drum machine. I love it, but it's very weird. So I think we were in shock after that, and we realized we don't want to do another weird one. This is our Get Back album, getting back to basics. Flat bottom, cold greaser.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing more to say, really.
A great comment on our YouTube stream from John Torres, the photographer of those first 3 albums, saying that none of those locales exist anymore.
Wow.
First 3 records, which is pretty.
Oh man, yeah.
That puts it all in perspective, huh, Quinter?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing us down. Just kidding.
Well, anyway, so here we are. So it's Flat Bottom Cold Greaser was like 3 years ago or something? 2 years ago?
3.
And so we had the grand plans to do this very tight, mostly live in the studio, new material album. But no, now it's the COVID album, tentatively titled Hamming It Down with the Weisstronauts. And it's been coming out really well. We're working to a click track. We're sending the click track around. We're sending the demos around. And we've kind of worked from the outside in, and we're creating this sound. It's the sound of rock music, folks. So we're going to play some in progress mixes for you, along with some of the demos, just to give you an idea. And we're going to go around the horn and have various Weisstronauts talk about it. What's the first song up is March 4th. The title is March 4th, right?
Yeah, well, we're getting into controversy already, Pete, because I think there's a lot of debate over whether this is fourth with a U or fourth without a U. We have to kind of resolve that, I think.
Titling is very important, and we could throw the title out and call it something else too.
Yeah,
right.
We could. So you know what? That's a sore topic, though. Let's just move on. Play the song.
Should
we? Well, why don't we have Neil behind the curtain. Neil, can you play a little bit of the original demo of March 4th for us? It's very rough. All right. So you get the idea. What was the demo? I think that was just me and Kenny in the living room here.
Oh yeah,
last
Pete.
year.
This was recorded on April 26, 2019. I took the day off work, went over to your place in the morning with some bagels, and you made some coffee, and we wrote and made demos for 6 songs in about 5 hours, and this was, I believe, the first one we did that day.
Wow.
Fresh and early.
Good memory. Wow. It's one of the more rockin' songs, and Nate is a particular star of this one, I think, with his drums recorded in his attic, his spare attic room, and I think they sound great.
Take a look.
They're right there. Look at them.
Nate,
There
talk.
we are.
You got to talk to.
To take the stage.
What do you want me to say here? What do you want me to tell you?
See it.
We just want the camera to turn on. That's all.
Hello. That's
Neil, why don't we hear a little bit of the real recorded version? This is not finished yet, but it's in progress, and it'll give you an idea what's going on. Nice. Yeah. That's one of the more rockin' ones. Some pretty kick-ass guitar work from Jeff and Kenny and myself. Quinter on bass. Why don't we move on? I guess we're sort of sampling these things. Jeff Norcross, why don't you take the floor and tell us about the song called Folksy?
Yeah, so this one's a little different. I think there are a couple Weisstronauts songs that are acoustic guitar based. This one is going to be an addition to that small group of songs. I guess I came up with the rhythm guitar part probably 2 years ago, and Pete and I got together shortly after Christmas a year ago, so December 2019, and he worked out a lead guitar melody part, and Kenny's added some really beautiful lap steel playing to it. Sounds that I'd never really imagined being on the part of the song, but really elevated a lot.
It's a B bender, actually, Jeff.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, so I don't know, for me, I'm a big fan of musician William Tyler. He's a guitar player, and some of his songs are in this vein. So definitely listening to him a lot inspired the original idea.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I think it's it reminds me a little bit of some of the late mid Byrds, like the sort of late '60s Byrds period with Clarence White, and
big fan of that stuff too.
I know you are, and you channeled it nicely. It's a sweet tip of the hat. So this could turn out to be one of only 2 Weisstronauts recorded songs with no drums and no bass. Very strange. Alarming, really.
And the other one is what, Pete? When Doves Cry?
Back Porch.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right.
When Doves Cry.
From Instertainment.
Yeah,
Right.
the last song with featuring Nate on mandolin.
Right.
Right.
Nate plays on it, just not drums.
Yep. Yep.
Well, let's hear it.
Here's Folksy.
Pretty song, Jeff. Pretty song.
That's gorgeous.
Fortunately, the clip didn't feature any of your bee bending, but it'll be worth the wait for folks.
It's a surprise.
There was a nice picture of your bee bender device on your beautiful 1974 Les Paul Custom.
Yeah, right back there. You can see it if you look very closely. But I love bee bender parts. They're heartbreaking. In fact, I literally made myself cry when I was recording the part, the bee bender part on that song.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
I did.
No, we need that. We need that. Do you want to just pick up your guitar and quickly
Sure.
show what it is? Because we keep saying bee bender, assuming that people know what it is, but it's a mechanical device that bends the B string of a guitar.
Yeah,
up
so this
a
is a
full
Les
step.
Paul, and you can see this thing here. Pete gave me, or is lending this to me, but when you push it down, it raises the string a whole step, or a half step, I guess. A whole step, right? A whole step. So that's how it works. It's very useful for getting country style bends that sound mechanical, like a lap steel would sound. So it's a cool thing.
And are you crying now?
Yes.
Well, if
Moving
he
right
breaks
along.
his headstock again.
Ken's cry.
I should take a second and mention that we're sad that we don't have Jeff Berlin with us tonight, but Jeff Berlin up in Vermont has has actually played a pretty big role in this new album. Actually writing a song, which we'll come to later.
2 songs, right?
Two, yeah,
Isn't
really,
Slinky
two.
his?
Slinky's all his. He wrote the whole song. What's the other one?
And then Completely Done is kind of a group effort, but I think Jeff.
Well, Completely Done.
No.
We're gonna have to talk to our team of attorneys on that.
Get the lawyers involved. Uh-oh.
Anyway, hey, Mr. Berlin, wherever you are, I hope you're watching, and I hope you're warm and safe and healthy. And we'll play a little bit of Slinky later on, but first, coming over to Kevin Quinn he's the funny. He is the funny one of the band.
Play that joke song I made. Go ahead. Play it.
What's the joke song?
I'm the funny one, so is that what
Well, we're coming to it.
The one with the kazoo, Pete. The one with the pedal drum and the kazoo.
Oh my God! Now I'm completely confused. Now, what I was going to say is Kevin did an unusual thing for this album. A lot of these songs have been very collaborative. In fact, most of them have. But Kevin, otherwise known as Quinner, hunkered down by himself, by his lonesome, and he actually wrote 2 songs. I think he wrote pretty much the whole songs, right, and just presented them as done.
well, I brought you. I think so. No, well, I feel like there was some additional collaboration to them as well, because we did get together at least to Uneasy.
Okay. Well, that's what we're going to. Why don't you talk about this? This song's called Uneasy Like Sunday Evening.
It's just a description of a feeling that we all, I think, have, even if you don't go to school on Mondays. That Sunday night feeling is a bit melancholy, and I think I was just aiming at capturing that kind of thing. But I'm also a big Commodores fan. You want to just play it?
Oh, I think for this one we have the demo, the original demo snippet, and then the.
I think the demo that we have is actually you, me, and Kenny. You kind of running through it in your
Oh, okay.
house. I think that's the demo.
It is.
Why don't we hear a little of each?
2, 3.
Here's the demo.
Is this a New Order song now? Let's go. String synth. I'm lost now.
Do the melody.
So Neil, you could probably kill it. You could probably fade the demo because it's pretty rough. I really can't bear to hear me singing the melody of the song. So I thought we'd
Well
just
sung.
roll into the snippet of the of some of the actual recording. The rough? Oh yeah.
In progress.
I'm going to be selling this to the Santa Cruz Tourism Board once COVID is over. There you
Okay.
have it.
Yeah,
That
so
was,
that's
That was Mr. Jeff Berlin making his appearance, musical appearance.
it was.
On drums.
It's true. That's
There-
right. And actually, and Nate, you play on the bridge of that song, so it's an interesting dual drumming situation.
Right.
I
And
don't know.
that was added post. That was like a last second addition too, but it added a nice touch to it, I thought. The bridge of that.
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah. Okay. So. Wow. Well, this has been great.
Is it over?
Take care, guys.
See you later, Pete.
No. I'm not talking for clapping. No, we got Nate. Nate Logus, drummer extraordinaire, and now audio engineer extraordinaire. Nate has made huge efforts in mic placement experimentation. I mean, you can see that in his feed there. Yeah. Anyway, Nate's going to talk about a song called "Happy New Year" that was, I believe, I came up with the main groove for the song, and we're going to hear the demo of it. And I had thoughts of this thing being like a post-punk sort of Gang of Four, like really aggressive, like angular rock thing. And I'd never said anything about that to Nate, and just sent the rough demo, which we'll hear in a minute. Anyway, I'll let Nate, why don't you talk about it? But because I love that we were on different pages, but the thing that you came up with was so genius.
Oh, well, thanks. And I'm very sorry. I should just apologize.
No. It's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, we didn't talk about it at all. And I just heard this thing. And my first thought was actually no drums, honestly. My first thought was no drums. And then I thought some percussion. And then I started adding percussion. Then I decided kind of I needed like a New Orleans, like a big four, like a big downbeat on four. And then maybe some bongos. And I was throwing some things down and I couldn't quite get it. And then I don't know, was I just like listening to a record? I must have been like listening to Ahmad Jamal or something and Live at the Pershing. So there's a song called Poinciana. And then I realized that basically what I was trying to play was like a very slow, straightened version of Poinciana. So I did that and I kind of thought it worked, although I wasn't sure. So I had to like send it to Pete like, what do you think? But actually, what I love is there's the part of the song that's like, whatever, 4/4. And then the bridge section goes into 6/8 with like the half note, I guess a quarter, or the quarter note a half time, like a half time 6/8. And then when it comes back in, the guitar comes back in like, and the time signatures kind of overlap, and it's beautiful. Kind of love that. Very spacey.
It's coming out great. Yeah. Why don't we hear the very rough demo first and have fun imagining this is when it was still in my head as like the Gang of Four thing or something. So can we hear that, Neil?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, Nate, what that would have suggested to me is kettle drums and a kazoo. I don't understand why you didn't do that.
When's your birthday?
It's coming up.
Well, let's hear it after Nate brought his magic to the kitchen table.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. It's cool to revisit these. I haven't really listened to the demos, well, in a few months.
Yeah, it's been a long road since December.
A lot has happened. Those are simpler times.
It's crazy that it's only been like coming up on 3 months since we started it, probably, but
It's going quite quite quickly. Actually, the first stage of it was amazing. I feel like there was the first week of kind of swapping files back and forth. It just felt like suddenly the album was 90% done, which of course was not true, but it's been going really well. We were going to have Jeff Berlin join us and talk about Slinky, which is the song that he composed the whole thing and showed it to us on drums and keyboards, and then Ken, aka Kenny, transposed the keyboard parts to a guitar part. Why don't we hear a little of, you know what? Let's skip the demo on this one and hear a little bit of the in progress version of this song called Slinky that Jeff Berlin contributed. And again, Jeff, if you're out there, we love you, baby.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right,
Wonderful song.
we're starting to run a little low on time, so why don't we go over to Kenny? And Ken, I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say about the briefest song from this upcoming album, and possibly your favorite song of all time.
I always have a lot to say, Pete. Yeah, so the last song is called "What Are We Doing?" And it was recorded at the marathon writing session you and I had on April 26, 2019, when we just spurted out 6 songs in 5 hours. I think this was the 3rd or 4th one we did. And I think it started from a little riff you had, a little 5-note riff, and then I kind of came up with some chords to go under that. And then I think we decided we needed a B section that went in a different direction. So I think I came up with some chords, or we did that together, and then I kind of wrote a little melody on top of that. And then at that point, we'd been messing around with it for about 20 minutes. You looked at me and you said, "What are we doing?" That became the title, and we made a demo of it right away. And are we going to hear the demo, or are we just going to skip to the magical part?
Let's hear a little of the demo.
Okay.
3, 4.
You know, Pete, you really have some nice natural reverb in your apartment.
Yeah, it's interesting to go back to these. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe the demos should be the album.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's hear a little of the in progress mix, and I think this features Nate and Jeff Berlin on drums. Is this one where you both played, or this is just Jeff Berlin?
Just
Okay.
Jeff, I believe. Yeah.
So,
Wonderful.
You know, it was kind of weird to figure out how to do the pregnant pauses in that song, because usually we'd be recording in the same room. We'd visually connect with each other. We couldn't do that, so we had to come up with a secret trick, which we're not going to divulge, but it worked out.
It involves an abacus.
Yes, and a Texas Instruments calculator and some Sunny Delight.
Well, we've only got a few minutes left. Why don't we go out listening to Purple Hose? But first, why don't we, as a group, talk about what a challenge this was? This is this is the one cover of the album, and it's a DB's song, written by Peter Holzapfel. And I noticed that whenever Peter Holzapfel writes an instrumental song, the name of the song has PH as the first letters of each word. There's another DB song called PH Factor. But this one is Purple Hose, and Peter actually was kind enough to play some keyboards on some other songs on this album that are still in progress. And he suggested, he's like, "Do you know the song Purple Hose? You guys should do it. It sounds like you could, bring it some justice." So, I'm babbling. Let's skip the DB's version for copyright purposes. But why don't we? Anyone else have anything to say, or shall we talk over it?
Sure, we could say our goodbyes over some of it, maybe let it play for a few and then say goodbye. We have like 2 minutes left in this, but thanks for everybody who did tune in and the kind language on the posts. I had to do no editing of any.
You didn't even have to remove my comments, Quinter?
I should look again. Oh, Kenny. Oh, Kenny.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was public.
Is that for me?
Some of it is.
All right, let's play this thing.
Purple Hose in progress.
The melody line over and over again.
So did I.
Aw.
Oh wow. Okay.
We still have.
No, we got less than a minute. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you
All right,
again
thanks for joining.
next month.
Be healthy, be well, take care of yourselves.
Look up. We know you're not dead, Kenny. Wait. No, it's like Herman Munster getting out of bed.
Okay. Bye, fellas.
Great job, everyone.